my review of Lies of P. As a streamer and a player, I will give it an 8 out of 10. I think most Souls games are entertaining to watch for the same reason that they're entertaining to play. They are difficult. Everybody likes watching their favorite streamer fail. Everyone likes to watch them getting frustrated. Everyone likes that moment when they finally beat that boss that they couldn't beat and were struggling with for so long. As a player, it's so satisfying to finally beat that boss you've been struggling with for so long. And so, 8 out of 10. I think it was an extremely good game. The attention to detail was definitely there. Using the story of Pinocchio and having the little teasers with, Geppetto, the nose growing and all that stuff. Like, I loved any of the throwbacks and any little mention of, the Pinocchio you know and love, you grew up with. And so I thought that was a really interesting base for the story. And then the gameplay was very good to back it up. Very unique fighting style with a lot of different weaponry choices. So you can really get a nice feel for what you were using and run with it. The ability to mix and match weapons was also nice. Eventually I stopped doing that. I just opted to use a boss weapon that I liked. But it was nice to, kind of find a weapon and try and build it to your liking. So that was also enjoyable. My drawbacks to it were I felt like a lot of the enemies that you fought to get to where you were going were not difficult enough. Like, I feel like getting from point A to point B was often, just more of a time sink than a challenge just to fight the next boss. I wish the regular enemies you would have fought posed more of a challenge, especially early on in the game. Like, sure, later on they start to get more difficult, but at the same time, you're also stronger, and it always felt like I had a massive advantage over every opponent I fought, and often they didn't really pose like a threat. And that's kind of the big thing with a Souls game, is everything you fight could potentially be the thing that kills you. It's all got a chance. Where in this game, most of the little stuff didn't really bother you. If anything, they were fighting to maybe get a hit in and weaken you for the next guy. And it would go like bunch of fodder that would try and just desperately get a hit. Mini boss bigger, more fodder, and then usually a little mini boss again into a final boss. And that's how every kind of segment would go. And if it wasn't a mini boss, it wasn't worth fighting most of the time. Like, none of it really posed a threat, and it would just be minuscule amounts of damage. And I would have liked them to pose more of a threat, get a little bit more punishing with their movesets, do more damage. I feel like in general, it was really easy to constantly have the best defenses equipped. I didn't spec my character to be able to equip the best defenses, and he was still able to equip the best defenses throughout the entirety of the game. And so it always made it really difficult for the opponents to feel like they were doing enough damage to actually damage me. I was just always a tank, despite me putting a majority of my points into my damage. Like, immediately I put my fucking attack all the way up to like 20 or 30, and then I went into some vitality and then inventory. And yeah, so I would have liked the opponents to feel like they were much more of a threat and do higher damage and more exciting move sets, where most of the time I also just I used the same running heavy into light combo to kill 90% of enemies. And there was nothing they could really do about it. They were all slow to react. I would have liked some more difficulty in that area where they were just faster. Some more ninja-like reactions from them. But given they were supposed to be puppets, so they were very robotic and slow on the reaction. So it fit the style and story of the game but it wasn't the most satisfying when just slaughtering hordes of them repeatedly doing that combo. By far my favorite boss was one of the last ones, the lightning rod woman. You will know her when you find her. So exciting. Absolutely loved reflecting the lightning back at them and having to perfect block, and their unique fighting style of trying to throw in feints and attacking from different directions. A small teleport. Like, that was the most exciting fight by far. Actually pushed me to my limits. Had me pumped up for the next few ones, which didn't quite live up to that one, sadly. But was extremely exciting all the same. And yeah, that is... I can't wait for other people who play this game to get to that fight, because it's just like, that fight right there made it all worth it. And so yeah, overall, 8 out of 10. I recommend, if you enjoy Souls-like games, you'll definitely enjoy this one. Have a good time with it. And that is my review of Lies of P.